Miss Denise. I just want to thank you for taking the opportunity and the time to go ahead and help me with my homework. My name is Jackie, and I just want to go ahead and conduct an interview in regards to knowing more about your family and, of course, your life history because I'm doing a class in regards to aging. So I have a few questions that I would like for you to go ahead and answer. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. I'm just going to go down a list of questions depending on just different topics. And just take your time. And if I have additional questions, I will go ahead and ask them. So I just want to first foremost to ask you, what's your age and where were you born?
I am 70 years old and I was born in Buffalo, New York.
Okay, that's good. And how long have you lived in Florida?
I've lived in Florida. June 6th, it will be 8 years.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. And so, in regards to living in Florida, in Buffalo, is that where you went to school? What's your educational background? What kind of school did you go to? And what kind of neighborhood did you live in?
Okay, I went to public school, kindergarten through high school. And I lived in a neighborhood that was right across from a very well-known college. And it was a good neighborhood, knew all the neighbors and the kids, and we went to school together until I moved out of that neighborhood.
Okay. So was your school, was it a private school? Was it what
No,
kind of
I
school
went
was it?
to public school my whole life.
Okay. Okay. And was it a mixed school?
Yes, it was mixed, and yeah. And you know, in public schools, I went to public because back then my parents could not afford to send me to private school.
Okay.
But it was they were good schools.
Gotcha. All right. And then you've mentioned that you lived in Buffalo growing up. And how was your neighborhood like?
My neighborhood was a family-oriented neighborhood. You knew your next door neighbor. Well, you knew just about everyone on your block. And even people in the next block, they would always walk back and forth because you would have to go to the bus stop. And you have to pass my block in order to go to the bus stop. So you got to know, you know, my street was only 2 blocks long. So you got to know just about everybody in the neighborhood.
Okay, that's good. You still keep in touch with them?
No, not really. But when I go back to Buffalo, you know, you run into a lot of people. Because Buffalo is quite small and everybody knows everybody. So you usually run into somebody that knows about where they are or what's going on with the people that were in the neighborhood.
Okay, that's good. And so let's go ahead and move on and you can tell me about your family. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I had a brother. He passed at an early age. And then I was his only child.
Okay. So you're only 2 of you?
Yes.
Okay. And how would you describe your family when growing up? Was this a close-knit family? Did you have any traditions that you did? How did
Our
you spend your
family was very close knit. We did a lot with family. We traveled with family. We had picnics with family. Thanksgiving was family oriented. Christmas and every holiday we got together. Went to the park, you know, cooked and did all that. And my aunt, she used to take all the kids to the park, like at 4 o'clock in the morning to save the space. I could see her coffee pot. It was a big white tin coffee pot that she would take and, you know, light up the grill and put a coffee pot on the grill, and she basically picked us breakfast out at the park.
That's right. If you remember all that. Okay, and then you lived with with your parents, and you mentioned earlier that your parents did not afford to be able to take you to public school. So how did to private? I'm sorry. How did your family earn money?
Well, my dad worked at the steel plant. Buffalo was a big steel plant city, so majority of the people worked at the still clean.
Okay.
My mom worked at a department store as an elevator operator. That's how she started off.
And so compared to everybody around the neighborhood, would you state were you rich, poor, or the same level in regards to financial
Back
aspect?
then, your parents didn't talk about money a lot. So to me, I thought we had money or whatever because, we didn't want anything or need anything. So you really didn't class people as they do now, poor, rich, middle class. So I guess I would say we were middle class.
You were middle
Yeah.
class. Did that make you feel a certain way, or because you had nothing to compare to, there was nothing?
No, I didn't feel any way. Like I said, we didn't want for anything. We didn't need anything. Always had food, and so I really didn't know anything about being poor or whatever.
Okay. And so, do you remember your teen years, being a teenager?
I don't remember much about my teen years. Just I don't remember a lot about me.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and also ask a few questions about now adulthood, now that you just talked about your background information. The other questions I have is, do you consider yourself old or not?
No, I don't.
Why is that?
To me, old is, you have categories. Person, place, or thing. To me, old puts me in the mind of a thing. You have furniture that's old, you get rid of it. You have old appliances, you get rid of it. So I say I'm older. Now when I get to the age where I can't do anything for myself, and then I think maybe I might say I'm old. But as long as I'm able to do things, drive, do what I want, go where I want, I consider myself getting older.
Older.
Yeah.
So to you, there is no age specification stating that this person is old.
No.
It just all depends on the mobility
Right.
and their activity and, of course, their mindset.
Right. Depends on the person. And, society puts, 65, you're old.
Right.
And, I don't listen to those.
Okay.
I just listen to myself.
All right. Thank you. And so, what's different about growing up today and when you were growing up? It can be anything that you can choose to speak about.
Well, I will say probably the children now. There's so many disrespectful children. And back in the day, it just wasn't allowed. You honored your parents. You did what they told you to do or what they asked you to do. And really back then it wasn't an asking. It was a telling. This is what you're going to do. And that's a struggle for me.
Okay.
Being, seeing children now. And it's kind of sad for me too to see some of these children disrespect people in general. Yeah.
So when you talk about disrespect, are you just stating like they're not doing what they're being told, or is it the way they talk to the
It's
adults?
a combination of not doing what you're told or ask. You can ask someone, but as an adult or a parent, I'm asking you, but you really don't have a choice, yes or no, to not do what I'm asking. So, I don't know, I just find that very difficult. And it's like the children are basically telling they're leading the parents. The parents aren't leading them anymore.
Okay. So maybe we're trying to be our children's friends.
Maybe. But you can still be friends, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. I want to be, your friend. I don't want you to be afraid of me, but I expect you to do what I ask.
There should be a level of respect.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about two or three meaningful or memorable events from your life. That is, what about this event makes them memorable to you?
Okay, like I said, we were a very family-oriented uh, family, and we always did things together. And once every other year, we had a family reunion, and we would actually rent a bus, and we would all get together, go to, it was usually South Carolina, Philadelphia, Detroit, or whatever, whoever was hosting. We would get together and we had music on the bus. We ate on the bus. I remember my aunt used to make cakes. People used to bring ham, and we would actually feast on the bus and have fun. So I do remember that, in my childhood.
Okay. So those mostly was the family get-togethers. That's the most
Yeah.
memorable thing that you
Yeah.
remember. Okay. And so I know you mentioned about you consider yourself as older. So do you think people treat you differently today when they did when you were young, and in what ways?
Yeah, now that I'm older, I see people, they give you more respect, I should say, as they call you ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
which I never thought I would want to be called ma'am. But they do call you ma'am now, and they, a lot of times. Because the other day I was even in Sam's, and a guy was walking out, and he looked at me, and he backed off, and, letting me go. And I said, oh, that's okay. I said, you were first. He was like, no, ma'am. Out of politeness, and a gentleman, I'm letting you go first. Oh, okay.
That's nice. So how do you feel about the changes in regards to aging, your body, your activities, your friends, your treatment?
Yeah. Well, aging, I mean, you do know you're aging because, some of the things you can't get up as fast as you used to. You can't walk as fast as you used to. You get aches in your knees, sometimes. But you just have to keep going. And I think if you keep going and kind of not focus on the pain and focus on life, I think, your mindset is, what it is.
Okay.
And I'm always saying, if you got a pain, take a pill.
Right.
And make it, try to make it better. So.
Okay. And so at the age that you are in right now, what's the best thing about your age?
My age now, being retired, I can do what I want to do. And a lot of times they say, like, you're really going back to your childhood. It's like a baby or a little person. What comes up comes out. And I think as you age, that's the same thing. Sometimes what comes up comes out. So
No filters.
No filters. So that's I don't know. Sometimes it could be good. Sometimes it could be bad. But
The other thing I want to ask, because that's the best thing that has happened at your age, what is the worst thing that you don't like about being your age right
because I guess the older you get, the closer you're getting to death.
now?
Because I'm always like, Lord, please let me live to see this. And then something else comes up. I'm like, Lord, let me live to see that. But after a while, Lord, let me live are going to be gone. But you just have to focus on the here and now. And don't kind of try not to worry about dying or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Live the best that you can. But
Yeah.
when you say, Lord, let me live to see this, and then you see that you're 70 and whatever it is in 30 years.
Right.
And they're like, okay, we might be here.
I might be here, but I won't know what I'm seeing or whatever.
You never know. You might be an exception.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, with the many ages and years that you've lived, what do you believe are the best years of a person's life, or you can say of your own life? Do you consider yourself childhood, teenagehood, 20s to 30s, 30s, retirement? What years do you think are the best for you?
Well, I think with me, I think the best years would have been my high school years. I don't think I enjoyed my high school years like I should have. And I'm always telling young people, please enjoy, your youth and your high school. High school, once you get out of high school, start going to college, you're getting closer to responsibility. Mm-hmm. So when you're in high school, you don't really have a lot of responsibility. You can enjoy activities in high school, you can enjoy your prom, and I just think that would have been my best. As I look back, I regret not being more involved when I was in high school.
Okay. Wish you could take that time back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned about that you're retired, and that what you like about retirement is you can do whatever you like. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you don't like about retirement?
No, I can't think of anything that I don't like. Because I love retirement. There's nobody looking for me. I do not have to sit somewhere until the clock strikes a certain time. It's just the flexibility of retirement. If you don't want to do anything, you don't have to. And if you want to be active one day here and then rest the next, you're just able to be free and do whatever you want to do.
So how many years have you been in retirement now?
10 years. It was 10 years in March.
Oh, that's good. You mentioned that you've been in retirement for 10 years, mm-hmm. which is good. Congratulations. So was it hard for you to adjust, or was it easy for you to adjust retirement?
I think I adjusted well, but before I retired, there's a fear of, are you going to be able to make it? Are you going to have enough money? Are you going to, there's a lot of questions before you retire. Mm-hmm. But once I retired, and, maybe a year later, you get into a swing, the money, when they say fixed, it is fixed. So it's fixed, so you have to be more conscious of budgeting. Because every month you're going to there's no bonuses, there's no raises, there's none of that. So after I got over that, I think I just adjusted very well. And, I don't even think about the where I worked or, whatever. I don't even think about that place anymore. I still have friends that we get together that I used to work with. And, we reminisce about work, but I think I adjusted pretty well.
Okay. So is there anything that you miss about working?
I miss the friendships, and, I worked where I worked. I worked there for 40 years. So in the beginning, we were really a family. We had Christmas parties. We had parties in the office. But as I got closer to retirement, that kind of went away. I don't know if it was management or whatever, but you didn't have that feeling of friendship and, a family after a while. But in the beginning, it was, really nice.
Okay, that's good. But at least you tried to meet up with some of your former coworkers, or now they're friends, actually.
Yeah.
And all of you are all retired now?
Yes, the last girl retired, I think, last year.
Okay, that's good. Now with retirement here and you doing whatever you want to do, what's a typical day like for you?
A typical day is, I belong to the Y, which that brings a lot of friendships. So I go to the Y at least 3 times a week. I play pickleball. I'm in a women's club, which has luncheons every month. And then they play games, so I play dominoes once a month. And I have a breakfast group that we go to breakfast every Saturday. And sometimes we go to dinner. So then I have my grandchildren
Yes.
that I have to, get places to where they need to go sometimes. So.
So do you raise your grandchildren or no?
No, their mother and dad raised them. I'm just a helper.
Okay, good. And so what do you do to relax though? So it seems like you are on the move all the time.
Yeah. Really, once from 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I like watching movies. I still watch soap operas. So I have my favorite soap operas that I take now. And I don't know, like a lot of movies and little projects around the house, and that kind of fills up your time.
So do you remember how you used to relax when you were younger and compared to now? What's the difference?
Really, when you were younger, you kind of didn't think about relaxing. But as you get older, it's like, oh, okay.
Your body.
Yeah, your body is telling you that. If you don't know how to relax, the body will tell you it's time, it's downtime or whatever. But when you were young, you didn't think about relaxing or I'm tired or I'm sleepy or any of those things. So.
Okay. That's good. Anyway, let me see what else can I ask you about the future now. So, just give me 2 or 3 things that give your life meaning. And then what's most important to you in life right now?
Mostly, I think enjoying life, enjoying your family. And I just like to, whatever I'm doing, I want to enjoy. I don't want any stress.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just at the stage where I would like just to enjoy my life and just live it to the fullest until the end.
Okay, yeah. And so what advice would you give me about getting to where you are, about just growing older?
Best advice I can give you is don't worry, because what will be, will be. You can't do anything about it. Don't stress. Try not to stress yourself out about things. And when things don't work out for you, you just deal with it and just know that, the next year after you've gone through things, you look back on it and then you can see where you come from and how you've matured. Because in this life, trials and tribulations are going to come. So it's the way you deal with them that, makes you a better person.
Awesome. And then is there anything that concerns you about dying or no?
No, not really, because I was close to death at a time, and when I thought I was dying, I just remember laying in the emergency room, and I found peace with it, and I didn't move or anything. I was just letting the process go, the way it goes or whatever. So, and now I really don't have a fear of death. because I just know it's better on the other side.
So that's events that happen to change your perspective
Right.
about dying.
Yeah.
And now my last question to you is, if you could choose to be any age, what would it be and why?
I would be retirement age, which was 60. Yeah, that's when I retire. It's just like a weight is lifted off of me.
Yeah.
So I would want to get to retirement age and stop aging at retirement age.
And I just thought about another question actually. Is there anything that you feel that you did not accomplish while you were growing, that you have regrets or nothing?
Well, you never accomplish everything you want to accomplish. And if you are the richest person in the world, they're still trying to accomplish something. So I think you never really get to your total accomplishment. And I don't want to say that I regret. I don't feel that I have regrets, and I feel that I've had a good life so far. So, I could have had more money, but maybe, who knows, maybe that wouldn't make me happy. So the more money you get, the more money you want. So.
Well, Ms. Denise, thank you so much for your time.
All
It's
right,
been a
Miss
pleasure.
Jackie. Thank you.
And I enjoyed, and thanks for the information.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.